I'm Toyya Braskey of Galveston, Texas. Today I had my first breast biopsy. So, for anyone who is worried about having this test, I wanted to share my experience with you to help you. So, before having this test, I was absolutely terrified of having it. When you Google a breast biopsy, a needle core biopsy, or a breast cyst aspiration, it looks very intimidating and scary because they use a really large needle and it looks like it's going to be so painful. So I really worried about that. I worried about pain management. How were they going to numb me? What would happen? How long would it take? Would it be really painful when they're digging in my breast with a large needle tool? So I arrived for my appointment at 12:30 today, and I was there approximately 3 hours. They do one breast at a time if you have issues in both breasts, and they explain every single detail of everything they are going to do in real time. So I asked them, I said, I want to know ahead of time about pain management. What are you going to do to numb my breast? So they told me that the first thing that they would do is they only do one breast at a time, and they position you on the stretcher with a wedge kind of on your side and kind of on your back so that they can get to the area of the breast that they're working on. They clean your breast thoroughly and sanitize it with iodine and alcohol. And then they apply a lidocaine cream. And after the lidocaine cream has soaked into your skin and it's numb, then they use a syringe and they inject, it's just one syringe. They inject your breast and they slowly inject the lidocaine deeper and deeper into your breast until you can't feel anything. Honest to God, they said you might feel a slight burning sensation, but if I did feel even the slightest burn, it was so minimal that I couldn't even tell that she had really put the needle in my breast. So it was wonderful that I could not feel anything. So they had me facing the ultrasound machine, and so I could see in real time what they were doing. So I didn't want to look at the needle because before the procedure I overheard the tech say, "Wow, these needles are really big. We don't have the smaller ones." And the other tech said, "No, they didn't order them. That's all we have." So I said, "Oh my God, I am not going to look. That will scare me. I'm not even going to look at this needle. I don't want to see how big it is." So anyway, I didn't look. So once my breast was completely numb, then she informed me that she was going to use the biopsy tool. And, before that, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. So the ultrasound tech comes in and she goes over your breast with the ultrasound tool. She marks the places where the masses are. So she has a marker and she's marking on your breast to show where they are. Once she is fully mapped where the masses are, then the radiologist enters the room, and the radiologist, which is a physician, takes over the ultrasound wand and then prepares the biopsy needle. And at the same time, simultaneously, the radiologist is scanning your breast with the ultrasound tool and holding the needle like this. And then when she locates the mass that she wants to biopsy, then she starts inserting the needle into that mass. You're watching it live on a screen. And so as she's doing this, I can't feel a single thing, but I can see this very large needle being pushed through my breast. through the tissues headed towards that mass. Once she got to the mass and she was touching the tumor, then she said, you're going to hear a very loud snapping sound. And she was right. It's like, kind of like a snap, 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 like that. So anyway, she just poked that tumor like about 5 or 7 times, each time grabbing tissue. I couldn't feel anything, but I could see it on the screen. So she was really attacking that mass tumor. That's the one that they suspect could be cancer. So she got a lot of tissue from that, and then she took the needle out. And after they take the needle out, then what they're going to do is they immediately apply pressure to your breast. For about 20 minutes, they have to hold the area where they just biopsied so that you're not bleeding out. And so they're constantly pressing your breast and putting pressure on it. And you can see that they bandage it. And so what they did next was, after the 20 minutes of applying pressure, then they thoroughly clean your breast again and sanitize it. And they put ice packs on your breast. And then they want the ice packs to stay on for about 20 minutes. And then they're going to come clean it again. They're going to recheck to put pressure on it again to make sure that you don't have any excessive bleeding. And then once it stops bleeding, they put a bandage on it. So they only do one breast at a time. So after they were finished with this breast, then they went to my left breast. Here is the bandage. So they went to my left breast, and then they said, well, in this breast, they're doing the breast cyst aspiration, which is different than what they did on this breast. So on screen, I can see this very large black cyst that looks like a black asp. Those fuzzy things that'll sting you. That's what this cyst looked like. It was really ugly. And she said, well, if we poke it and it disappears, that's great. If we poke it and it doesn't disappear, if it doesn't deflate, that's really bad. So I could see her looking at this cyst. And then she did the same thing with this breast. She coated it with the lidocaine. She gave me the injections in the breast, and she said, can you feel anything? And I said, no, I can't feel nothing at all. I didn't even feel her give me the lidocaine shot. That's how numb my breasts were. So then she said, well, I'm going to start the procedure. And I was able to face the ultrasound monitor and see in live time this very large needle coming towards this cyst. And immediately when she poked it, it began to just deflate, just disappeared completely out of my breast, like poof, gone. So that was really great to see. That got rid of that cyst immediately. So she pulled out the needle, and then she showed me about 2 cc's of fluid that was in the cyst. And she said, it looks like grape juice. This is a normal color. I see this all the time. That's a good thing. So after she finished with that, they did the same thing. They applied pressure to my breast for 20 minutes. And then they cleaned the breast really, really well to make sure that there's no bacteria, there's no infection. They also put ice packs on this breast for 20 minutes. And then they cleaned it again, and then they bandaged it. Now also, during this procedure, she asked me, do you like fragrances? And I said, yes, I do. I said, I love to have like things like candles and different things like that. It really affects my mood. So they have these little scent packs that are like lavender. And so the whole time that you're doing the procedure, they peel this open, and it just really emits lavender all over the room. So you're breathing this nice, lavender scent that relaxes you. So that was really good. And so they explained to me that after the procedure, I cannot shower or bathe for 24 hours. They said for 1 week, I cannot bathe, swim, get in a hot tub, no going to the ocean, no hot baths. I can shower after 24 hours, but you cannot submerge yourself in water. So they tell me to look for things like bleeding. So if there's minimal bleeding, I can put pressure on it, hold it really firm for about 20 minutes. And then after the 20 minutes, recheck it to see if it's bleeding. Only if it continues to bleed, go to the emergency room, but that would be really rare. So there was nothing to fear about this procedure. I did not feel a thing, nothing. Now, they did tell me that my results from the biopsy will not be back for 3 to 5 business days. So that means Wednesday or Friday. After the procedure, they want to do another 3D mammogram. And the reason that they do this is because during that procedure that I just had, they mark the tumor or the mass with a titanium X. It's like about the size of a fourth of a rice grain. It's really, really small. It will not interfere with x-rays or MRIs or things like that because it's medical grade titanium. It is in the shape of an X. And they actually implant that little X into your tumor so that if you have future scans or surgery, you're marked that that has already been checked or already been biopsied. And so that is a way to keep a record of what is scar tissue and what is a new lesion versus something that has already been checked. So I was there for the biopsy and the scans approximately 3.5 hours. I feel absolutely fine other than being tired because I didn't sleep the night before. I didn't sleep all day. So now I'm just running on my last bit of energy. I need to really go lay down, but I just wanted to let y'all know how it went today. Like I said, for anyone who is scared to have this procedure, you have nothing to worry about. You are not going to feel a single thing. They do absolutely numb your breast where you can't feel any part of the procedure. Now, I would still ask for any procedure that you have done in the future, ask them about pain management. Say, explain to me how you are going to handle my pain management. Because a few weeks ago when I had a uterine biopsy, they did not use anesthetic and it was very painful. I will never do that again. I will always ask, what are you going to do? Explain it to me. So, I hope that my story helps you. I look really tired in this video. I am really tired. Luckily, I am off today and tomorrow from my job so I can rest and recuperate. And like I said, I will not get the results back until Wednesday or Friday. This is Monday. And I hope that it's good news. I hope out of all the women that go for breast biopsies, 80% are benign, non-cancerous, but 20% are cancer. I hope that I'm in the 80 percentile. Even though my mother is a breast cancer survivor, I hope that I am not the one that got her cancer gene. So anyway, hopefully it'll come out as good news. I can get on with my life. Thank you for listening to my story. Bye.